Take this, LeChuck!
Guybrush, come over here. Gently now. Remove my mask.
Will you promise to stop picking on me?
All right, I promise. Anything. Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're not supposed to be in here.
What's next?
Let's goof on those two. Pretend they're our parents.
Yeah! Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells.
Don't worry, I found him.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
I wonder if it's real. Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Yes, sir. Come on. I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way. You have to try one. It's the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow.
I once got a scurvy dog that was bigger than my head. Some places you go have scurvy dogs with cheese inside. I once had... Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your armpit? In France, they call a scurvy dog a chien scorbut.
Looks like they need a swabby in here. I'll never be the ship's swabby. That is really, really low. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it.
I can stand on my head with...
How much is a mug of grog?
Grog's for grown-ups. Beat it.
How much are those chicken foot fries?
Chicken foot fries are 2 pieces of 8.
Tell me again how much the chicken foot fries are?
Chicken foot fries are 2 pieces of 8.
What should we do next?
We gotta get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one.
How much are the scurvy dogs?
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8. That's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is. How much are the scurvy dogs?
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8.
I once ate 2 scurvy dogs at the same time.
Tell me again how much the scurvy dogs are.
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8. You kids better have money.
Yeah. We've got all kinds of money. Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure, if you give me a piece of 8.
Please? Can't you spare something for a couple of hungry kids?
Listen up, you little moocher. Let me tell you something. I don't like kids. I'm an honest businessman trying to make an honest living. I don't need 50 kids a day coming in and wasting my time trying to get me to give them free food.
I guess never mind.
Hey, I know. Let's look for change in the outhouse across the way. Coins fall out of people's pockets when they sit down in there.
The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog. It's locked. I should get that key from the scurvy dog shack.
I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue.
They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it.
Did you know your feet won't smell? If you don't wash them?
They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. How are we gonna get into the outhouse?
There's a key right there on the wall. At home, I've got a collection of old scurvy dog sticks that fills a whole shoebox.
They put it on a leg to keep you from... Hey, Chucky, get ready to run. I guess they don't like visitors.
Let's go next door and get scurvy dogs.
Hey, Chucky, stand over here for a minute.
Nah, I want to get scurvy dogs.
Hey, Chucky, stand over here for a minute.
Nah, I want to get scurvy dogs.
Exhibit removed. Aww. Let's not go back there again. We'll just get yelled at.
Yeah, let's get scurvy dogs instead.
Let's not...
Yeah, let's get...
I wonder if this is drinking water.
I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue.
Wakey, wakey, Mr. Pirate. Hello? Boo!
Ha! He's dead to the world.
Sounds real. Looks like they need a swabby in here. It says, return outhouse key when finished, or else. Those glasses are thicker than the layer of grease on the floor. Those glasses are thicker than the layer of grease on the floor.
I don't see very well, but I can hear just fine.
Those glasses?
I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue.
Now what?
Can we get some chicken foot fries?
You got 2 pieces of 8?
No.
Then no fries. Now what?
Can we get a mug of grog, please?
I told you, grog's only for grown-ups. Stop wasting my time.
I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that. I got the leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
Good, you unlocked it.
Please wash hands before leaving outhouse. I'm not touching that gunk. It seems more like something Chucky would do. I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that. Where should we look?
All over. Do you see any coins?
Chucky, why don't you look in the toilet?
No way. You do it.
Okay.
Ugh.
Gross. Gross.
I can stand on my head without using my hands.
Gross. It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
That's called a slug. It's like a fake coin.
A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin. I am not doing that again. I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that. Hey, Chucky, it says you're supposed to wash your hands.
I never wash my hands.
I dare you to take a drink of this.
No way, I'm not doing that.
I double dare you to take a drink of this.
Don't want to get sick before I get my scurvy dog.
Gross. I'm not sure how we can get scurvy dogs without any pieces of 8.
We might have all we need. I don't think that guy can see very well.
Hey, look! I'm returning the key.
You want a medal?
Those glasses?
Now what?
Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure, if you give me a piece of 8. Now what?
Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure, if you give me a piece of 8.
At home, I've got a collection of old scurvy dog sticks that fills a whole shoebox.
What can we get with this?
Tastes like a piece of eight. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want.
Perfect!
Take 'em, boy.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours. I'm having these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner forever. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I wonder where those two people we were following went. That's my friend Dee. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
We just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There. Perfect. See you around the park, zitheads.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place? They were used in combat, shot from cannons as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way. Then, people noticed what happened when you missed the other ship and hit the sea bottom instead. The current bow-shaped design is actually less effective than the sharper V-shaped design that was popular last century. But the older design went out of fashion after sailors started to think the letter V was bad luck. You can still find the old kind around sometimes, but collectors have grabbed most of them. On a modern anchor, if you look close, you can tell that one side is a little larger than the other. That's to prevent what's called plummeting, where the anchor goes down too evenly, and then it doesn't catch well on the bottom. The little flanges at the tips are at different angles to make it twist on the way down, for the same reason. Most anchors these days are made of iron, and you have to recast them like twice a year because they rust. About 30 years ago, somebody thought of a way to get around that by making them out of wood instead. All kinds of people invested a lot of money in these wooden anchor companies, but the only way they could keep them from floating was to attach another anchor. And so they gave up and went back to the old way. The word anchor comes from the Sanskrit word nagara, meaning city. They're called that because when you stop in the middle of the ocean, it's like you've made port at an invisible city. Yeah, I'm kind of an expert on anchors. I read a lot.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not. Did you know they were used? They started then. The current, but you can on a modern. That's to prevent the little most anchor about 30. Oh, but the word they're called. Yeah.
I once had the hiccup.
Hey, Chucky, want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins!
Woohoo! Yeah!
Darn.
I wonder where this.
Mwah.
You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go!
I win!
Hands off! That's our bread! Stop it! That's our bread! Stop it!
Excuse me.
Yes?
Could we have some of your bread to feed the duck?
I don't think so. We brought it for ourselves.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Will you pretend to be our parents again?
What do you mean, again?
Run along and find your real parents.
I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days. You have no regard for personal property.
And no respect for your elders.
I have half a mind to give you a piece of my mind.
And I've got the other half.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. I certainly hope you'll have better manners in the future.
I once had the...
I want to feed the duck. I want to feed the duck.
Hey, hands off!
That's a nice tree.
I'm only pretending to look at the tree. I'm actually spying on that couple by the pond.
Have they done anything suspicious?
Very. I think they're trying to catch the duck.
What for?
Dinner?
I think they're only feeding the duck.
You haven't been watching them as long as I have.
How's the surveillance going?
He keeps tapping his foot. I think it might be a code.
How's the
He
Did you know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs.
What's this red glob?
That's ketchup. You should put that on your scurvy dog.
Don't feed the duck. Excuse me.
Yes?
Never mind.
Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level.
I win.
I win.
Nuh-uh.
You guys are both pretty weak.
Well, anyway, that was fun. I'm saving this scurvy dog for myself.
Did you know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
Yuck! I don't think that was ketchup.
Whoops.
I'm saving this scurvy dog for myself. Do you want a sword fight with me?
I've seen you fight. Come back in a few years, maybe.
Do not pick the four-leaf clovers. As if! Let's look for a four-leaf clover.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
I found one!
Awesome.
There was still one left. Darn.
I should throw my coin in and make a wish. wish Dee would disappear.
What?
Hey, Neat!
Ouch!
Hey! That was cool! I wish I had another coin.
I once had the hiccups for 4 days straight.
What you looking at?
Those kids jumping rope down there? They're doing it wrong.
What you looking at?
Those kids.
Are we done here? We might not be able to come back if we head this way. This place is fun.
I want to feed the duck.
Your sword is as sharp as a banana.
I'll still tear you down to size.
I for sure won that one.
In your dreams.
You fight like kids.
You're about as scary as a bowl of oatmeal.
I'll be sure to break you fast.
I'm so the best at this.
Almost as good as me.
I've seen better footwork from a footstool.
I want to feed the duck.
Hey, hands off!
Excuse me.
Yes?
Never mind. I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days have no regard.
And no.
I have
And I've got the other half.
blah 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 blah
Blah, blah, blah,
blah 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 blah
blah, blah, blah,
blah 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 blah
blah, 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 blah.
blah 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 blah. I certainly.
This place is fun.
Hey, Chucky, get ready to run. I guess they don't like visitors. Let's not go back there again. We'll just get yelled at. Smells like grog. Hey, Dad.
Hello, Mr. Threepwood.
Hey kids, having fun?
Yeah.
We got scurvy dogs.
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures. We just did Big Whoop.
Big whoop! Oh boy, that takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asked me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun.
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh, that story has a great ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. Not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of Monkey Island.
Is this a long story?
I think maybe I gotta go use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have to go walk my tarantula.
Maybe I should go with them.
No, stick around. This is a good one. See, there was a rumor going around that my old nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch. Feels good to be back on Melee Island, the hub of pirating in the Caribbean, where every good expedition begins. I'll see some old pals and get things rolling. Or sailing in this case. Hi, I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Remember me?
Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood. What have you been up to?
Well, you know, freebooting mostly, swashbuckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck.
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic? Are people evacuating?
He doesn't seem interested in carnage at the moment. Ship's just here taking on supplies and crew, as far as I can tell.
Well, anyway, no, I'm not sailing with LeChuck. You know my history with him. He's an evil zombie ghost pirate, terror of the seas, and sometimes the land. A nefarious, conniving, murdering scallywag. A depraved, ruthless villain. And a loud talker. And I'm not those things.
They say opposites attract, but what do I know?
LeChuck kidnapped my wife. He's always had designs on her. I sailed to Monkey Island to find them and get her back.
Oh, I thought you weren't married yet when that happened. And didn't she more or less rescue herself?
That's not the point. We've been enemies for my whole career. Everywhere I go, there he is. He plagues me. He's my nemesis.
Funny. He said the same thing about you.
That guy steals all my best ideas.
Are you sure it isn't the other way around? Seems like he was here first.
I don't know how he found out, but I'm sure he's just doing this to get one up on me. I'm mounting my own voyage. Mine.
Well, you'd better get cracking then. LeChuck's loading up on the outer dock as we speak.
Well, I'm gonna hire a ship and a crew and beat him to the punch. Just as soon as I can get someone to back the venture. I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
In that case, you'll want to go talk to the pirate leaders at the Scum Bar.
Exactly. That's why I came to Melee. It'll be great to see those old guys again. We'll knock back a grog and hash out the details.
Scum Bar, by the docks. Long table in the back.
I know where I'm going.
We'll see.
I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you. I've got a few coins for incidentals. The pen is mightier than the sword. Re-elect Governor Carla. She's tough on toughness. I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
Looks like a circus act. Maybe. I really need to talk with the pirate leaders first. I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
I'm here to talk to the
In the back.
Have you seen the pirate leaders around? This is their table. In fact, you'd probably better move. You don't want to get caught sitting here.
It's our table, Rummy.
We're the pirate leaders. Get lost.
Where are the three older guys who used to hold court here?
Who cares?
Probably crying in an alley somewhere, wishing they were still relevant.
Making up trials for each other and writing memoirs that no one will read.
I hadn't heard there was a change of leadership.
Oh no. Did nobody remember to notify you?
Maybe your party invite got lost in the mail.
Is it you I should talk to about financing an expedition?
An expedition? Who is it that you think you are exactly?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Probably you've heard of me.
Probably not.
Permission to slaughter the annoying old wastrel man, Captain Madison.
Wait, it was Captain Madison? She's like famous! I've got her on a trading card. Her plunder stats are amazing!
Plunder stats aren't everything.
Then the others were Captain Lila and Captain Trent. It was Lila who threatened to kill you?
Look, they weren't that great, okay? Listen to the story.
Want me to slaughter him?
Don't bother. He's just a harmless hack who thinks he has a good idea for a pirate raid.
I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island.
You're wasting our time.
The secret? I didn't think that was even a real thing.
It's a mystery for the ages that must be solved.
The only mystery here is who let you into this bar.
Okay, I'm sensing some reluctance, but hear me out. I could make it worth your while to help me hire a crew. A percentage of their earnings or something?
No one in here wants to chase your pipe dream.
If you don't take this opportunity, LeChuck will grab it.
LeChuck?
Yes, the dreaded zombie ghost pirate LeChuck himself is also going after the secret. He's here in Melee getting ready right now. If that doesn't prove it's a worthwhile venture, I don't know what else to tell you.
Great. Problem solved.
Excellent. You'll do it.
No, of course not. Why waste money on an expedition when you can just join the one that's already going?
Have fun with your scary ghost friend. Bye-bye.
Well, the slight problem with that idea is that LeChuck and I are basically mortal enemies. Fine. I don't need you or your money. I can do this on my own. If I can't buy a ship, I'll steal one. I'm a pirate. I'll find a way to get to Monkey Island no matter what it takes. I like the old pirate leaders better. I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Don't sound much like pirating to me.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
It'll turn out to be a t-shirt or something.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you.
Guybrush Threepwood, as I live and breathe, how have you been?
Same old, same old.
How's Elaine? She was always my favorite governor. Also, she covered your tab when you stopped coming in.
She's good. No piece is missing.
Kids yet?
Whoa, easy there, Tiger. I'm still in my juvenile phase myself. That's what Elaine says anyway.
Well, tell her I say hello.
The atmosphere in the bar is different than it used to be.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I've got to cater to the new crowd. Everything changes, Guybrush.
But the roaches stay the same.
I've missed your wit. And your low alcohol tolerance.
Hey! Those new pirate leaders seem like real jerks. Why do you even let them in the bar?
Well, they've driven off my old regulars, so I don't have a lot of choice if I want to stay in business. Also, if I tried to get them to leave, they'd probably cut me up and throw me in the soup. Frankly, I'm terrified of them. On the plus side, they have more disposable income and better hygiene than the old crowd.
Did I mention I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island?
No, I don't think you did. Well, that's exciting. So you'll be hiring a ship at the docks?
I'm thinking I'll steal one.
As far as I know, the only ship out there is LeChuck's.
Even better. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Bold. I like your thinking.
Ooh, I think I hear the health inspector.
What? Where?
Just kidding. That joke never gets old. Keep up the good work.
Thanks. Will do.
Pests or garnishes?
A good cook sources local supplies when he can.
It's amazing what you can achieve if you put your mind to it. Then you have a packet of stick-on stars. Well, it's definitely a mop. The food is more exciting when you can smell the risk. Pleasantly scorching hot. Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday. Active little guys, aren't they? The plaque says, in memory of looming seagulls of old. I think someone tried to secure a boat with this. Looks like a mugshot. Pleasantly scorching hot. Looks like a mugshot. Are you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Let's pretend I was really considering this. What sort of pirate qualifications have you got, exactly?
I completed the 3 trials.
Trials?
It's how they used to make their bones in the old days.
Well, I was a director of combat operations for the British Navy, and I've written 2 books on ship-to-ship tactics.
I'm a founding member and co-director of the Red Fleet and hold records for civilian casualties from San Domingo to Venezuela.
I'm an expert in 17 forms of hand-to-hand combat, 3 of which I invented. I served with Bellamy, Teach, and Roberts before they each met an untimely end that I might have had nothing to do with.
Just so you know, this is the kind of resume we expect.
Oh. Are you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Nice hat pin.
It's the emblem of a secret society I belong to.
Really?
Don't be ridiculous.
Nice hat pin.
Beat it.
What's that you're drinking?
Large. Get lost.
What's that you're drinking?
Large. Get.
Don't look now, but I think there's a leech on your chin.
Buzz off.
Don't look now, but...
Buzz.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Pleasantly scorched. Ooh, I think I hear the health inspector.
What? Where?
Just keep up the good work.
Thanks. Will do.
Elaine?
Guybrush!
Wait, are you going to tell a mushy part now?
A little, but I can skip over the hugs and kisses. Elaine!
Guybrush!
I was hoping you'd turn up in this story.
I was hoping you'd turn up in mine.
How's your scurvy prevention project?
It's great! We're going to get a lot of limes to a lot of sailors and save a lot of lives. I've got to come up with a way to deal with Captain Madison, though. The pressure she's putting on the town is making it hard for social programs like mine.
Sounds like we both met Captain Madison.
I don't like her. She's the one who pushed to shut down the shipyard.
She doesn't understand the value of the secretive Monkey Island.
She laughed at me.
Me too.
Obviously, the woman has no taste and a lousy sense of humour.
You wouldn't happen to have a ship with you?
No, silly. I came on a charter. Just like you.
I figured that, but it never hurts to ask. I'm finding it harder than I thought to get hold of a ship and a crew for my expedition.
Why don't you ask around at the docks? I'm sure you can find something.
Thanks. I'll try that. I feel better just talking to you.
Me too.
You've probably got to get going.
You say goodbye first.
No, you say bye 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 first.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Honoring Melee Island's 27th Governor, Carla the Swordmaster, for her heroic actions at Santa Catalina. The problem with this statue is it's not a statue of Elaine, the best ever governor of Melee. It's Elaine's flyer about how limes combat scurvy. It's important, but boring. I've never once made it all the way to the end. It doesn't look finished. The International House of Mojo. This place hasn't changed in years.
Welcome, Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again.
I have been waiting for you.
You mean...
Fate ordained that you would be here several minutes ago. Only you can manage to be late, even when you are fated to arrive.
It's a gift.
Allow me to seek knowledge on your behalf.
Will it cost me anything?
Pride, free will. Not much. The way to the secret is like a serpent which swallows itself. Many obstacles lie ahead.
Serpent, obstacles, got it.
You must walk the path. Yet you have already walked the path.
And now I'm going back again.
When you are unsure of the way forward, open this book for guidance on what is to come.
It can tell me my future?
In a way. Think of it as a book of hints.
What is it really?
A book of hints. Use it wisely. To know too much diminishes the voyage.
Neat. Thanks.
No charge. Now you must go. I have a luncheon, and your destiny lies at the docks.
It does?
Most assuredly.
Going out of business? This place is an institution. Well, the voodoo here must be authentic, culturally, and historically accurate. The sign says so. Going out of business? They're having a half-off sale. At Chamber of Commerce Midnight Luncheon, back shortly. Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Oh, this was my... What kind of person would just paint on a wall like that? Elaine would never have stood for this when she was governor. This place has kind of gone downhill. Oh, yeah, that clock has been broken for decades now. Looks like Wally's got a new place in Melee. I hope he's not still sore about the monocle. At Chamber of Commerce Midnight Luncheon. Back shortly. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. The note says, forced to close. Looks like a volcano island with horns that swallowed a basketball. Hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay.
Once you have a key, you've got to open the door. Things are not what they seem. All keys are gold. It's the way of keys. No one ever works together. All want their own prize. When they get close to finding it, suddenly they are gone. You can find a golden key, but you cannot own it. A lock is a beautiful thing. A key, even more so. If you listen close, you can hear the gears grinding. They're mostly gone now. Hardly anyone left to pick up the pieces. The queen always gives way to a new queen. She vanished along with the ship. I told her not to go.
Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work. Looks sort of like an eye.
Welcome to my shop.
Hi there. These are nice.
It's a locksmithing test.
Close it all up, and if you get the key out, you pass?
That's the beginner level, yes. The real challenge is to lock the larger box inside the smaller one.
Are these for customers?
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
What's this key?
That's for a lockable quiver. And please, don't touch the glass.
Handsome-looking parrot.
And also vicious. But it was my mother's favorite.
What's that lock?
That's for hats.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
I see a peninsula trailing off into small islands, but no X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
Is that from a famous locksmith band or something?
My mother's band, the Golden Keys. They were named after some actual golden keys that she spent a bunch of time looking for.
What is that? It's definitely not a key. Or a lock.
It's a fishing lure, of course.
Of course. How much for the fishing lure?
It's not for sale. This is a locksmith shop. Perhaps you saw the sign outside?
That's an impressive machine.
Yep. This wouldn't be much of a lock shop without a key grinder.
I see everyone in that portrait has lovely locks.
If you have to make a pun, at least make a good one.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Locke Smith.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. And before you ask, yes, they did. Yes, it was. And they really, really wanted me to follow in the family business.
Who's the old lady in the window across the way?
You mean Whitey Bones. She used to be the Undertaker here years ago. Seems to know a lot of things that maybe don't quite fit together.
Can you really make keys for stuff? That seems like a magic trick.
Modern locks have serial numbers that tell me all I need to know. No tricks necessary. Just information.
It seems wrong that you can make a key from just the serial number.
It's a failsafe, in case people lose their key. You know how people are.
Aren't locks way less secure if all you need is a number to get a new key?
That's why you should never share the serial number with anyone.
What happens if you lose your key and the serial number at the same time?
The numbers are usually engraved on the locks, just in case. And if you lose the lock, chances are you don't need a new key.
Well, what's to stop me reading the serial number on someone else's lock and having a key made?
The numbers are printed small enough that you need a special tool to read them. Only a pro would have a tool like that.
Can I borrow your lock serial number reading tool?
My magnifier? Not a chance. I could be drummed out of the union for that. If you want to play locksmith, you'll have to look elsewhere.
How well do you know Whitey Bones?
Not well at all. But she's been living near my shop for quite a few years. She was across from my old location, too.
But she moved when you moved?
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
I'm on a quest to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Exciting. The story in my family is that the secret is sort of like a key. One that opens all locks at once.
All at once? Well, how does that work?
No idea. It's just a story. But I guess you'll find out soon enough.
How would you like to join a pirate crew?
Would I have to leave my shop?
Well, yes, that's the general idea. The crew actually get on the ship and, crew it.
Thanks. I'll pass. Try down at the docks. There's always somebody hiring somebody down there.
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything. I've got a system, and I don't like it disrupted.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
I think it's a chandelier. Carla.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Hello, Swordmaster.
Prepare to taste my blade, you washed-up hack.
When was the last time you had a bath?
Ha! That was marginally clever.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
You should never have given up being swordmaster.
Who says I did?
Oh, sorry, I just assumed. Governor seems like a full-time job.
It is. But there's room for overlap if you're creative about it. I heard from your wife. She's coming by to talk about scurvy legislation. I assume you're involved with that somehow?
I've got my own project cooking.
Of course you do. If it isn't about the scurvy project, why are you here?
You first. What are you doing here?
Don't be weird. I know Elaine used to live here, but it's my house now that I'm governor.
I'm looking for the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you. I don't have it.
I'll be needing a crew. You interested?
Ha! I'd rather swallow a live badger than crew with you again. No offense intended.
So, unlikely but still possible?
No. You want a crew, go down to the docks and hire one.
Is there a government program that funds expeditions to find secrets of Monkey Island?
Oh, gosh. You're too late for that one. We canceled it last year and diverted the funds to build a habitat for the rare Caribbean whining leech.
Darn.
There's a ship at the docks that's headed for Monkey Island.
I think you're talking about LeChuck's ship.
Do you want to go to Monkey Island or don't you?
Elaine says Captain Madison is hurting her scurvy project.
Not the legislative part, just the public funding. The town was in a bind a while back, and that so-and-so, Captain Madison, saw an opportunity. She lent us the cash we needed, but now we're up a creek paying the interest. Things like social programs, waste management, and town maintenance are all on the back burner.
I like that woman less every minute.
You and me both.
Well, the mansion hasn't changed much. Elaine's style is still everywhere. Even the books are hers.
They're my books now, as you well know.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty. The blurb says it's a solid if somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station. It's thicker than I would have imagined. Warning, do not try these tricks at home. I tried to read that once, but I couldn't finish it. Does not include Secret of Monkey Island. Oh. Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book. I like your stuffed, guess it's a dog?
Please, take that and throw it away. It was a gift from the Earl of Thickwater, who is a contemptible pig.
It's a lot of work being governor. I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor.
The blurb says it's a solid if somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station. Can I borrow a book?
You've got a lot of nerve asking that. You never brought back the last book you borrowed. I had to buy another copy. You never even apologized.
I totally forgot.
Of course you did. You think like a cow.
The blurb says it's a solid if... Elaine told me that's Lauder Neckbeard, second governor of Melee Island. His overly strict morals and overly lax regulatory policies helped make the island what it is today. I've seen that same painting on a box of frozen instant cereal.
Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
Can I borrow a book?
You never brought back the last book you borrowed. You never even apologized.
I'll pay for it.
I don't need your money.
Can I borrow a book?
You never brought back... You never even...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm hearing the words, but somehow they aren't helping. I need more than that.
Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book. It's thicker than I would have imagined. Can I borrow a book?
You never brought back the last book you borrowed. You never even apologized.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm here. I need more.
Edgy. I've always thought this looked like my old ship, the Sea Monkey. Ugh, looks like Carla wasn't too keen on getting her portrait done. Employees only. It seems to be stuck closed. 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 It seems to be stuck closed.
The secret smells like popcorn.
Hi, Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
My grog-riddled body is fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom. For old time's sake.
Beat it.
Say it.
No!
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic. Stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes.
sophisticated score, and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Yes!
Now get lost.
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married. These kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island. Wanna come?
I heard the secret is just some marketing gimmick Stan thought up. That only the gullible and naive would go looking for it.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Don't look now, but I think...
Buzz.
Are you sure I can't persuade?
Yes.
Stay away from that picture. Stay away from that picture. Stay away from that picture.
Expedition to fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here.
Looking for a job? Step this way.
The clipboard in your hand says you're the quartermaster.
The crew says I'm the quartermaster. Clipboard doesn't get a vote. You look like a guy without many options. You want a job? I'm short of swabby. LeChuck's an equal opportunity employer. Even humans are mostly tolerated.
Have you got anything more senior?
Well, I need a second mate, a bosun, a ship surgeon, and a gunner. Do you think you're qualified for any of those?
I could be second mate.
Do you honestly have any idea what a second mate does?
Goes to store openings and funerals and waits for the first mate to be incapacitated?
I thought so.
I'd make a great bosun.
Exactly what qualifications have you got for that?
I can hold my breath for 10 minutes. Okay, maybe 8.
Don't waste my time, okay?
How about ship surgeon?
I assume you have some kind of medical degree?
Is that a definite requirement?
Sorry.
I could be the gunner. Oh, I'd be great at that. Boom, boom.
You look a little scrawny. What do you bench?
Bench? No problem. I sat on one for 12 hours once. I can take it.
I have a lot to do today.
Maybe Swabby's not so bad after all.
The only requirement is that you bring your own mop. If you've got a mop, the job is... Hey, wait a minute. What's your name, sailor?
Andrew LeChuck. No relation.
What a coincidence. LeChuck gave me a blacklist, and you're on it. In fact, you are the blacklist. I'm sorry. Can't hire you. You're obviously Guybrush Threepwood.
Well, that's a slight hitch.
I'm confused. Didn't you say you were gonna get your own ship?
Yes, but then suddenly I thought, why bother? I wanted a ship and a crew. Here was a ship and a crew. Ripe for the taking. All I had to do was get on board, wait for the right moment, and strike.
Strike?
Mutiny the crew, seize the ship. Be a pirate.
Except they wouldn't hire you because they knew who you were.
Yeah, that was a problem. Also, I needed a mop. Hey.
Threepwood. I shouldn't even be talking to you.
I'm not Guybrush Threepwood. I just look like him. You'd be amazed how often people confuse us. Sometimes I impersonate him at parties, just for fun. We've never even met, and I doubt I'd like him if we did.
Even if any of that were true, it wouldn't matter. LeChuck would take one look at you and go nuts. Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Hey.
What is it?
Come on, let me have the swabby job.
If you were anybody else and you had a mop, I'd hire you. But you're you, so I'm sorry, I can't.
Hey.
What is it?
Are you sure I can't convince you that I'm not Guybrush Threepwood?
Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Hey.
What is it?
Never mind. I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. No parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4. Looks like this is going to be a long journey. Say what you want about my evil, horrible nemesis LeChuck, but he does know how to stock a ship. How clever. How clever. How clever.
Why was Wally in such a hurry? He wouldn't sell us out to Madison, would he?
I believe he needed to relieve the pressure upon him in a different way.
The curtains are for sale too?
Everything goes. They'd make a
green, half off. Blue, half of half off. Yellow, half of half of half off. Orange, aren't you glad you're here? It's an unusual safe with 5 keyholes.
Alas, the safe is not for sale.
I'd need a lot of keys to open that. Someone's very excited I'm looking at this sign. A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game. Everything's spilled out of it in a puddle. Not for me. Looks like it's been there forever. Not very practical. Keep up the good work, buddy. It's a creepy shrunken head with long, stringy hair. I didn't know these were a voodoo thing.
They're not. But the tourists like them.
It says everything must go, but it says it with numbers. Too bad it's empty. Do you do gift wrapping?
We're out of wrapping paper, unless you'd like it wrapped in the skin of a lizard.
No thanks. An empty basket. I should have gotten here last month. Pointy.
It is a non-magical ceremonial knife.
Oh, I'd like this knife.
An excellent choice. I will need you to verbally agree to a release of liability.
Okay.
This product is not to be used in the commission of any crime, including vandalism, jailbreak, and theft of ancient priceless artifacts.
No problem.
Threatening, frightening, stabbing, shaving, or manicuring yourself or another person are likewise considered outside the scope of acceptable use.
Oh, okay, I guess.
The product is not balanced for throwing. Throwing the product violates these terms and will invalidate the warranty. Whittling, scrimshaw, mumbledy-peg, juggling, and any tricks involving stacking or balancing the product may cause serious injury and should not be attempted by unlicensed persons.
Uh-huh.
Use with breads, spreads, bedspreads, or thread may damage the product. If damaged, the product should not be used. Product is sharp and should not be carried in a pocket, coat, belt, hatband, handbag, shoulder holster, or sheath. At all times, keep the product away from children, pets, the aged or infirm, clowns, pirates, and adults. Where possible, it should be locked securely in a vault. The manufacturer accepts no responsibility for the consequences of any use or misuse of this product. By verbally assenting to these terms, purchaser hereby assumes all liability, past, present, and future, throughout this and all possible and impossible universes.
Oh, is this where I say yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything I am allowed to do with it?
I am not able to answer that question, as it could create a liability issue.
This is a neat symbol. What does it mean?
That used to contain magical disguises. But alas, they have all gone.
Yeah, it's too bad you're sold out. A magic disguise seems really useful.
There's always the famous eye patch of John Laney at the museum. I'm sure the magic has worn off by now, but I believe I could restore its abilities.
Next time I'm in a drum circle, this would come in handy. What's this thing?
It's a forgiveness frog. When no apology will do, give the forgiveness frog. It's like a card, only much better because it's a frog.
I've never heard of that before. Are you sure it's real voodoo?
No comment. It works.
I'll take this forgiveness frog.
It can help someone forgive even very old transgressions. All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least wait until I say what I'm thinking? It's creepy. Your sign says you're going out of business. Or is this one of those not really going out of business sales?
There is a new dark magic on the rise in the Caribbean. It has many adherents, particularly among the young. There is little demand for my talents or my wares. Business is terrible, and there are other factors. Captain Madison desires this location. That it belongs to me will be of little help against her financial and political powers.
Whoa, back up. Dark magic, you said?
I did.
How does dark magic work?
Runes, chemicals, the power of secrets. I am no expert. It's too sterile for my tastes. I like things messy and theatrical.
Is dark magic powerful?
Powerful, yes, it can be. But dangerous. If the badger chews his own tail, soon there is no more badger.
You like that metaphor a lot, don't you?
It has many uses.
Can dark magic get me to Monkey Island?
No.
Nuts. Where can I get my hands on some dark magic?
Dark magic is not your path, Guybrush Threepwood.
Do you know more about this John Laney guy with the eye patch?
Captain John Laney was renowned as the pirate of 1,000 faces. It was said that he could fool his best friend with nothing more than an eye patch. That legend is true, but only because the eye patch he used was filled with much voodoo magic. The eye patch still exists. It is on display at the Museum of Pirate Lore here on Melee Island. If an enterprising person such as yourself were to liberate it and bring it here, I could most likely get it working again.
Got it. Thanks. I don't suppose you sell mops.
I cannot guide you on matters of mops. The true master is the cook at the scum bar.
Can you use your talents to tell me how Eileen is right now?
She is always close, no matter the distance.
Do your answers ever make sense?
There are no answers, only questions that are finished.
Are you able to see what LeChuck is up to?
Your goals and the goals of LeChuck are aligned, as always. But his intentions are darker. He would use the secret to do terrible things.
Dark-er? What's that supposed to mean?
LeChuck must not acquire the secret.
No argument there. Is this the year when you finally tell me your name? It's become almost a running gag between us. But it's awkward, like when your glass is empty but you keep trying to drink out of it over and over.
It is Corina.
Oh, okay. Corina. Nice. Somehow it was more exciting before I knew that.
That is true of many things.
Got any other mystical advice or information for me? Stock tips or something?
No.
Got any other mystical advice or information for me?
No.
What's cooking?
The Feast of Knowledge.
I've always been impressed by your chair.
Thank you.
I'd need a lot of keys to open that.
LeChuck, sir. Just thought I'd pop in and let you know. Preparations to set sail are almost done.
You have all the supplies for the spell to get to Monkey Island?
Check. Squid ink, chickens, brimstone, cinnamon, monkey blood, mint, and an annoying skull.
Well done. Mark yourself down for one less lashing this voyage.
Funny story. Guybrush Threepwood tried to sign on to the crew.
Threepwood? He must be looking for the secret, too. That guy steals all my best ideas. Have him killed! Wait! Let him live. I want him to see me sail off for Monkey Island knowing the secret is lost to him forever.
Sure. I want to bring this up one more time. Is searching for this mythical secret of Monkey Island a good idea? Shouldn't we be out terrorizing the high seas, instilling fear, creating mayhem, being more on brand for LeChuck?
I've had enough of you questioning my orders. Finish loading the ship, and whatever you do, don't let Threepwood on board.
Very well.
I remember when this place used to be wall-to-wall with sword training gyms. Now there's nothing but trees. Progress. This was where the fantastic Flying Fettuccine Brothers circus used to be. Nothing left but old tent pole holes. Wow, I could have had a totally different future if I'd stayed with them. Meat Hook's museum is gone. So is the cable to his island. It's just as well, given the worldwide rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle shortage. Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended. Oh, I used to love these when I was 6. Museum of Pirate Lore. I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days. I think they're illegal now.
Hi there. Welcome to the Melee Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm Conrad, the curator and docent here. I also edit the Pirate Times newsletter. Here, take my business card.
Thanks?
The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island, at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
Why do you have this big gear?
It's from the Melee Clock Tower, stolen during a pirate raid nearly 75 years ago. It was recently found at an inn on St. Martin, where it was being used to mill corn. I traded some old furniture for it that we had in the back room.
Has anyone thought about putting it back in the clock?
Nah. If the clock started working, it would only confuse people.
How on earth do you have that note?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. That was found tucked inside of a book at the Fat Island Library. It's the actual note left by the ghost pirate LeChuck when he kidnapped Governor Marley.
I know what it is. The lookout handed it to me just before I finished my 3 trials. I was crushed, but undaunted. I gathered a crew and I sailed to Monkey Island to save her. Not that she needed it, as it turned out.
Wow, man, you're really into this. I've got a role-playing group on Thursday nights.
You don't believe me?
It's not a question of belief.
Never mind. It's not important. That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure of Big Whoop. I got it from the cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he was somehow involved in the search for Big Whoop.
About all Wally managed to do was get kidnapped by LeChuck's henchmen.
That's not the way he tells it.
I'm just trying to help.
Thanks. I've got it under control.
What's this melted lump of metal?
It used to be a mug. It was melted by some kind of acid. It was found in the Melee jail many years ago, after an incident where like 20 pirates escaped.
Hey, I did that. I had to keep pouring the grog from mug to mug because it was melting them. I had an armload of mugs and I juggled them all the way from the scum bar to the jail. Also, I could get Otis to join my crew. Not my greatest decision in retrospect.
That's a pretty wild story.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure you are, but it just doesn't quite square with the official record. So it's hard to substantiate.
Substantiate? You've got an eyewitness.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously inaccurate. Human memory is plastic and suggestible.
Not yours, apparently.
No, of course not. I deal in facts.
Eye patch worn by Captain John Laney, the Pirate of 1,000 Faces. What's the story with the wanted poster?
That is the earliest known wanted poster for Captain Kate Capsize. You can tell how notorious she was by the huge number of crimes listed there. Very impressive. I got it from a collector on Fat Island.
Those are my own crimes, actually. I was pretty much public enemy #1 on Fat Island at the time. I stuck Kate's picture on there so she'd get thrown in jail.
That would never work. Nobody's that clueless in real life.
This is absurd. It's like this whole wall is stuff from my personal adventures, but somehow I'm not even mentioned in your stories.
That's what's so great about this museum. Everyone makes their own connections with the exhibits, and it's highly personal and different for everyone.
That's not what I'm trying to say at all.
That's okay. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what the exhibits tell you.
Fine. That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. What do you feed it?
Thieves, mostly.
Good to know. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. What's the significance of the peg leg?
That belonged to the infamous Peg Leg Patty. She used to hide a spare cutlass in it, in case of capture. Sadly, that's the reason she's no longer with us.
What was this cinder you've got on the wall?
Oh, that. Yeah, that was an unsent love letter, written by Elaine Marley, while she was governor of the island.
What? Elaine?
The recipient was referred to only as Plunder Bunny.
That's me!
It was a really touching letter. Unfortunately, I put the candle too close to it.
What did it say? Tell me what she said.
Oh, you know, love letter stuff. Honestly, I don't remember a word of it, but it was touching.
Thanks a lot. That's a nice coffin.
The one with the ore. Yeah, the coffin had a lot of water damage when I got it from the voodoo lady in town. But I managed to restore it. It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
The water damage is actually from the swamp on Scab Island.
Unlikely. The prison in question is nowhere near Scab Island.
You should think about hiring a research assistant.
Oh, I did. Unpaid, of course. Intern.
Tell me about this hunk of wood.
That's an original plank from the Golden Hind, autographed by Francis Drake himself.
Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook. Supposedly he was ambidextrous. Also, he used to live right here, on Melee.
Actually, I think I'd rather not hear about that again. There's some very tiny writing on it. The display case is locked. What can you tell me about this eye patch?
That's the pride of the collection. It belonged to Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. Supposedly, it had voodoo powers that would disguise him. I tried it on, though, and nothing happened.
Eye patch worn by Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. There's some very tiny writing on it. There's some very tiny writing on it. The display case is locked. It's cracker mix. Some assembly required. It's hopeless. Pirate Times, editor Conrad Lee, ready to publish your unrecognized genius. It doesn't seem interested. It doesn't seem interested. That never ends well for the knife. I don't need to update this by... It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. Oh, I used to love these when I was 6. Purple flowers. These must be lavender, or monkshood, or cyclamen. A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth. A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth. Ooh, purple flowers. These must be catnip. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Purple flowers. These must be lavender, or monkshood, or cyclamen. Ah. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Purple flowers. These must be lavender, or monkshood, a classic specimen of Alata needleus. I'm hopelessly lost without. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Hi again. Oh, those new pirate leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course. Okay, no, probably not. I'm thinking about going on LeChuck's expedition after all.
I'm glad to hear you decided to patch things up.
Nah, he doesn't want me on the ship. I'm blacklisted. I'm gonna have to go in disguise.
These Shakespearean comedies just write themselves.
See anything interesting out there?
Change. The future.
Are those the names of ships? All I can see is open water.
It's what I named my cataracts.
Huh. You've been at this post a long time.
Yep. My eyesight isn't what it once was, but my hearing is still as sharp as the governor's sword.
And that's helpful for being a lookout?
There's hardly ever anything to see anyway. The job is mostly about greeting people. Welcome to Melee Island.
Thanks. Ever think about retiring?
Sure. Sounds great. I'll get a little place where I can sit by the fire and watch the ocean.
Say...
You'll have to excuse me. I think I see something on the horizon.
Say...
You'll have to excuse...
What happened to Stan's previously owned vessels? The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush? The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day. I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessels like a carnival. It always looks bigger on this side of the island. This used to be such a bright, cheery place. It says, Tan's previously owned vessels. So sad. Stan's used to be the... It's sad to see the shipyard like this. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It's a dried-up old sea sponge. It's bone dry. I guess Stan hasn't washed a ship in a while. It's bone dry. I guess Stan hasn't washed a ship in a while. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used... Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. It's good for relieving stress. It's good for relieving stress. Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet. Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet. It's my very own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife. Especially for... Hey, Wally!
Well, 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 look what the surf washed ashore. It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again, too, Wally. Whatever your last name is.
I spent years in therapy getting over being burned, blinded, blown up, abandoned, and marooned because of you.
Yeah, good times, huh?
You're lucky I'm past all that and am running the best map shop within the Caribbean and beyond.
You have a lot of maps in here.
We've got so many, you need a map to find them all. A little cartographer humor.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how funny it was. Looks like the shop across the way is in trouble.
The high-stakes, ego-driven world of pirating is changing, and dark magic is taking over. Voodoo magic is fun and all, but it's not what the new generation wants. Me? I'm on the bleeding edge and making a bundle. I'm about to franchise.
I'm looking for a mop.
This is maps and more, not mops and more.
Well, I was hoping the and more might include mops.
Well, it doesn't. Try asking the cook over at the bar where he got his.
I'm looking for a map through the forest.
What are you trying to find in the forest?
I don't know. Nothing in particular.
Then having a map won't really be any different than wandering around lost, will it?
Yeah, but, I mean, well, never mind. You wouldn't happen to have a map to the secret of Monkey Island.
Funny you should ask. I recently made one on commission, but then they destroyed all my source material. It is the only one in existence. Best of luck to you.
It's great to see you landed on your feet after all these years.
Business has been booming with all these new dark magic pirates. Captain Madison has me on a lucrative retainer. She pays extra for a bunch of wacky symbols I just make up.
I'll let you get back to cartographing.
That's not a real word.
Uh-huh. Ooh, those look fancy.
The finest tools to make the finest maps.
I didn't know you made globes, too.
I don't. This is for reference. It's got all the latest continents.
I didn't know you made globes, too.
I don't. This is for reference. It's got all the latest continents.
They're like glasses, only way less convenient. Ooh, look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
Oh, please take one. I use them to promote my business. See, it says maps and more on the edge.
Thanks. Wally, can I have one of these maps?
Absolutely. If you pay for it.
Never mind. This map shows both sides of the globe.
It's twice the value.
Whew, looks chilly up there. I appreciate that Wally hasn't traded it in for a new model just because it's been around the block once or twice. I feel very strongly about that for some reason. It's a long, small map of somewhere far, far away. What's this a map of?
The secret movements and activities of my competitors.
That sounds reasonable. It's a map on a fan. What'll they think of next? This must be Trouser Island.
Actually, Mr. Threepwood, it's...
Yep, Trouser Island. I had a map like this once, but I sailed left. It's maps wrapped in maps. I didn't know you could do that. That looks like a treacherous voyage. It says, rating, Cursed Black Diamond. Hey, Wally, what's with the window ladder?
I use it to keep an eye on the neighbors.
Well, it's good to have a hobby. The first rule of piracy is never buy a used treasure map. Hey, Wally, what's in these boxes?
Maps.
Ooh, this one looks nice. How much is it?
Oh, that one? Too much.
Good old mazes. Can't get enough mazes. It looks expensive. And shiny. I like shiny. Huh, never seen one of those before. Huh, never seen one of those before. I try to steer clear of sea monsters myself. It looks expensive. I like shiny. Hey, Wally. Nice weather.
Yep.
Huh, never seen one of those before. Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work.
Some islands you should not visit. But what can you do?
A visitor! Wait. Guybrush Threepwood?
Otis!
Howdy, kid.
And Stan. Otis, old pal. You haven't changed much since I last saw you.
I blame the government.
In fact, didn't we first meet right here?
Not at all. I was in the other cell that time. You look different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice. Big news. I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
That sounds fantastic. You know what I remember most about Monkey Island? The time you busted me out of jail right before we went there. I don't cruise ships anymore. But maybe you can still help me out. Like you did all those years ago.
Yeah, I'm sort of planning on hijacking an existing crew instead of recruiting one. But maybe I can spring you anyway, for old time's sake.
I would be most appreciative. A locksmith has opened very conveniently across the way. I am told locksmiths can make keys for things. Things like cell doors?
Imagine that. What did they get you for this time?
I'm a victim of circumstance. Circumstance being that too much attention gets paid to little things that don't hurt anyone, while hard killers roam the streets with pistols and swords.
I notice you didn't say what crime they locked you up for.
It was nothing. I was just picking some flowers.
In the forest?
No, that's illegal. I learned my lesson. I picked them from the governor's garden instead.
Picking flowers from the governor's garden sounds like an unwise choice.
We used to be friends. Sort of. Anyway, they aren't even her flowers. Taxes pay for them. It's public property. I don't know why anyone bothers me about it. I don't hurt anybody.
We'll accept the flowers.
They're annuals. They're doomed anyway. Guybrush, you gotta get me out of here. It's custard night. I don't think I can take that again.
I'll make it my number 3 priority.
Thanks.
At least the jail is well lit.
Yeah, but the better I can see it, the worse it looks.
Eeh! A spider!
Watch your boots in here, son. It's like a swamp, without the clean parts.
I don't remember this place being so leaky.
They finally installed running water.
How's your day going?
I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read. I can read the serial number. I'll write it down so I don't forget. It says, jail rules. 1. No escaping.
You look like you're having a good time. That's nice. They say the only real prison is the one in your head. But take it from me, that's a load of barnacles.
It says, jail 1. No. Any writing that was once here has been rubbed away.
Word of advice, kid. Stick to the narrow straights.
I'm no good at jimmying things. Most of this serial number has been rubbed off.
Jail is like a bad breakfast. Small, greasy, and hard to swallow.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Oh, sorry to see you in jail.
Thank you, son. I appreciate the thought. I'm sorry to see me here as well.
I was really hoping to buy a ship from you.
Well, now, normally, I would do absolutely anything to get you into a comfortable ride right away. But my hands are tied. They're shackled. I can't do it. Not at any price. I'm completely out of inventory. Every ship on the lot was seized by unscrupulous lawyers who don't care about your sailing needs the way I do.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've already got a plan to steal a ship from LeChuck.
Well, if you don't get killed, look me up afterwards. I'll give you a good price for anything that can stay above the waterline. Naturally, it'll have to be store credit until I get back on my feet.
What did you do that got you arrested?
Let me tell you something, son. It's not what a man does that matters. It's who he is. Maybe one day, in a moment of weakness, he crosses a line. But if he's confident about what's in his heart, he can hold his head high. And you know what's in my heart, son?
Blood and goopy stuff?
People. People are in my heart. Anything I may have allegedly done, you can be sure I did it because I care about people.
What exactly did you allegedly do for people that got you arrested?
I gave them what they wanted. Now, naturally, people don't always know that they want the things they want. Sometimes it takes a man with a talent like mine to show them the way. And sometimes people who are jealous of that sort of talent will try to put all sorts of unpleasant labels on it. They use hurtful words like scam and misrepresentation and even fraud. But it's all just marketing, son. As natural as the rocks and the trees and the Malay Island flounder birds. And that's why I'm not worried. I'm awaiting final judgment of the court, but I'm certain I'll be acquitted. They don't hang people for marketing.
Didn't you used to have a law practice or something?
Used to, but I was disbarred for what we former law practitioners call moral turpitude.
Is that a real word?
More or less. It's one of those handy catch-all words that you can use whatever you want because it doesn't mean anything specific.
Would it help if I broke you out of jail?
Now that's a kind offer, it truly is. Warms me to think that you'd do that for your old pal Stan. But I've got to think about the optics. I don't want to damage my case, and escaping from jail doesn't look good at trial. So thanks, but no thanks.
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
Are you sure you don't?
100.
Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
Now that you mention it, there is one thing I've been missing during my time here in this lofty establishment. In all the rush and fuss and document shredding surrounding my arrest, I completely forgot to grab my toothbrush. If you happen to be passing by the shipyard, you might grab it for me. It'll be on my desk in the office.
I've been to the shipyard. Your office is all boarded up, with your toothbrush sealed inside, presumably.
Well, don't worry yourself about it then, son. I found a dead centipede in the corner that should do until they let me out.
I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret? Boy, that takes me back. But if you're looking for help, you're barking up the wrong enchilada. Just remember, life has no guarantees or warranties. Only jamborees.
Thanks. That's advice. See you later.
Yep.
Any writing that was once here has been rubbed away.
Guybrush, you gotta get me out.
I'll make it my number 3 priority. Well, the numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read. Well, the numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read. This is the number for the jail cell lock. It's hopeless. Well, the numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read. The voodoo lady said it was a forgiveness frog. Once upon a time, I won a t-shirt right here on the front lawn. This is for you.
You're giving me a frog?
It's a forgiveness frog, for when words aren't enough.
You haven't even bothered to write anything personal on this frog. That's just rude. I reject your frog.
Dear Carla, sorry for losing the book I borrowed. I appreciate that you're keen on bluntness. As shown by your actions at Santa Catalina, please accept my humblest apology. I promise to do better in the future. This is for you.
Dear Carla, this is a nice sentiment, and it looks like you even know something about me. One thing. You can do better. I reject your frog.
Dear Carla, sorry for losing the book I borrowed. I realize that you are tough on toughness. As shown by your actions at Santa Catalina, please accept my humblest apology. I promise to do better in the future. This is for you.
Dear Carla, I'm impressed, Guybrush. Surprisingly thoughtful. Considering it's you, I'm strangely moved to forgive you for losing my book. And I'll treasure this frog as a memento of the time you did something right.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Can I borrow this book?
All right. I was upset after you lost the last one, but you seemed genuinely sorry, so I guess I'll give you another chance.
Thanks. I won't let you down. I'll definitely return this. Can I borrow this book?
One book at a time. I only trust you so far. Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I'm gonna end my stream right here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me. See you next time. Bye.